Here we have Dusty listed as G.I. Joe Classified number 49 in the series, produced by Hasbro. The box features custom artwork by Imad Awan and comes with 7 accessories, which you can actually count up right here. Don't think there's anything hidden back here like some other figures, but the G.I. Joe Classified series has always been chock full of accessories, which is always a welcome change as opposed to the Marvel lines and some other lines that Hasbro does produce. So we can see the artwork there. Really cool. Kind of looking for cover. And the back artwork is pretty standardized. Copyright, trademark, warnings, don't eat these, accessories, otherwise you might die, kind of deal. So let's open the figure up. So this particular design is heavily influenced by its original 1985 figure, with some modernized elements, obviously with added detail, but unfortunately no cloth goods hood. The articulation includes swivel hinge ankles, boot swivels, double hinge knees, swivel thighs, ball jointed drop down hips, ball jointed waist, mid torso hinge, butterfly pecs, swivel / hinge shoulders, bicep swivels, double hinged elbows, swivel hinge wrists, ball jointed neck base, and a barbell jointed head. Its accessories include a rifle, oh, this is small and fiddly, a magazine to accompany that rifle. He's got a stabby knife. He's got a backpack. Kind of one piece, kind of disappointing. I thought, there'd be something, pockets to hold stuff, but I guess not. There is the helmet. Again, with no cloth goods hood, unfortunately. And not one, but 2 pairs of goggles. Don't really understand why. Actually, you know what? I think I know. One is to put on the hood. So let's see what that's gonna look like. And that ridiculousness is what a double goggle Dusty looks like. And here we have the figure fully kitted out, and we can see the backpack looking not so great there. And this is going to be a common minor gripe for me with a lot of the G.I. Joe classified figures, unfortunately, especially because they're supposed to be kind of based on a lot of real life elements, is that the plastic used is a little bit too shiny, which takes away some of the realism for some of that. You can see there's a lot of shine in his hands and in his face. There are some dull bits in his pants and on his shoulders, but I think that's just because they're kind of using a different kind of plastic, and I don't really think it was done on purpose. But I guess one of the glaring things that stands out to me is how, although highly detailed the backpack is, it's extremely shiny and it looks very unrealistic, even though it probably looks a lot like what would normally have came out from the 3.5-inch G.I. Joe line way back when. So he's holding his rifle. The magazine is inserted. We've also got his helmet / hood with the goggles on top, and you can see that the knife is sheathed. Now, unfortunately, unlike my Sergeant Slaughter figure, this helmet just doesn't fit quite right on the head. It wiggles quite a bit. Meaning that if he were to take a small tumble, we're just talking like a face down tumble on your shelf, he will lose his hood, and the goggles will pop off, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we're really reaching for things to complain about when it comes to this kind of $24.99 MSRP price point figure. It does come with a decent amount of accessories, although not as much as some others. Some of the others from the line. We can also see the details of the American flag and the G.I. Joe emblazoned and his name emblazoned on his shirt, which is a nice touch. nice detail. I'm actually surprised that the copy is legible. So yeah. So, some of my final thoughts about the figure. It is an okay figure. It's certainly not as great as some of the other figures in the line, like the Alley Viper or even Sergeant Stalker, actually, which was a huge surprise. Really happy with that figure. This does come with some of the common gripes that I have just across standard action figure lines, where things don't quite fit the way they should. You feel like some things were molded and repurposed from other figures. This rifle fits really, really tightly, and it's really kind of difficult to get his finger in there. But I guess my major gripe is I kind of have a loose joint here, which makes it a little bit difficult to pose and keep on the shelf, as sometimes it kind of slips. However, I guess my major gripe here is this hood just doesn't just to me it just doesn't look right. It doesn't fit on the head well. If he were just to fall over a little bit, and he does. The helmet's gonna pop off, and the goggles are gonna pop off fairly easily after that. I'm sort of not. I guess I understand why they would want to mold these two separately, but I think this look. I think I've gotten upside down, but I think this look kind of looks better without the hood. So just having that there looks a lot better to me. Some additional minor gripes about the figure is that I believe, I don't know if it's just me, and I don't know if it's going to be picked up on camera. I believe they've given his cheeks a bit of sunburn. It's a little reddish under there, and actually because of that, he looks like he's sick. He looks like he has a fever. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Again, the detailing is really nice. Really surprised I can the copy of the American flag seems to come through really, really well. And I guess my standard gripe about some of these action figures is that the face is a little bit too shiny. Wishes a little bit more dull, and it'll kind of like add to the realism of the figure. The face, however, is sculpted really well. The hair looks really good. Pretty disappointed in the backpack. It's a little too shiny. It doesn't really match the straps over here. It's kind of like the different shade of brown. And despite all the detail that you see here, you can see all the mole straps and all the pouches and his water bottle. None of those are painted, and it just very kind of like one note there. If you are a figure customizer, I'm sure you can paint this to look a lot better than how it does currently, and that would certainly be an amazing improvement. So we're going to hope that he doesn't fall over. And we're going to compare him to another figure from the line, just to see how he scales up and scales down. We've got the Alley Viper there, looking really nice. He doesn't want to see what's going on. He doesn't like being on camera. So he scales. He obviously scales well. He's a little bit bigger than the Alley Viper, but he ultimately scales well because the proportions are all just about the same. Sort of the same with the Mandalorian from the Black Series, although the Star Wars figures are a little bit shorter, at least according to the analog that I've chosen here. It does not scale at all in any way, shape, or form with the Power Ranger line. And it also scales extremely awkwardly with this Spider-Man figure from the movie line. And Spider-Man figure is my representative standard 6-inch figure, as it measures in at nearly, almost exactly 6 inches, which is great. And you'll love to see it. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on the figure. It is okay if you really like Dusty, but you could probably go without it and maybe hope for a different version in the near future. So let me know your thoughts about Dusty, whether he's one of your favorite figures, whether you feel like I've missed any details about him, and catch some other videos in the future. Thanks for watching, guys.